morning. Happy Tuesday. It's February 8th. Flying right through this month. All right. Cover yourself, KJ. Calm down. All right. February 8th. Social responsibility. Exodus 22:16 through 31. Okay. 1446 or 1280 BC. If a man seduces a virgin who is not engaged to anyone and has sex with her, he must pay the customary bride price and marry her. But if her father refuses to let him marry her, the man must still pay him the equal amount to the bride price of a virgin. You must not allow a sorceress to live. Anyone who has sexual relationships with an email. It does not say that. Anyone. Sorry. Anyone who has sexual relationships with an animal must certainly be put to death. Anyone who sacrifices to any god other than the Lord must be destroyed. You must not mistreat or oppress foreigners in any way. Remember, you yourselves were once foreigners in the land of Egypt. You must not exploit a widow or an orphan. If you exploit them in any way and then you cry out to me, and they cry out to me, I will certainly hear their cry. My anger will blaze against you, and I will kill you with the sword. Then your wives will be widows and your children fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are in need, do not charge interest as a moneylender would. If you take your neighbor's cloak as security for a loan, you must return it before sunset. This coat may be the only blanket your neighbor has. How can a person sleep without it? If you do not return it and your neighbor cries out to me for help, then I will hear, for I am merciful. You must not dishonor God or curse any of your rulers. You must not hold anything back when you give me offerings from your crops and your wine. You must give me your firstborn sons. You must also give me your firstborn cattle, the firstborn of your cattle and sheep and goats. But leave the newborn animal with its mother for 7 days, and then give it to me on the 8th day. You must be my holy people. Therefore, do not eat any animal that has been torn up and killed by wild animals. Throw it to the dogs. A call for justice, Exodus 23, 1 through 13. You must not pass along false rumors. You must not cooperate with evil people by lying on the witness stand. You must not follow the crowd in wrongdoing. When you are called to testify in a dispute, do not be swayed by the crowd to twist justice, and do not slant your testimony in favor of a person just because that person is poor. If you come upon your enemy's ox or donkey that has strayed away, take it back to its owner. If you see that the donkey or someone who hates you has collapsed under its load, do not walk by. Instead, stop and help. In a lawsuit, you must not deny justice to the poor. Be sure never to charge anyone falsely with evil. Never sentence an innocent or blameless person to death, for I never declare a guilty person to be innocent. Take no bribes, for a bribe makes you ignore something that you clearly see. A bribe makes even a righteous person twist the truth. You must not oppress foreigners. You know what it's like to be a foreigner for yourselves, for you were once foreigners in the land of Egypt. Plant and harvest your crops for 6 years, but let the land be renewed and lie uncultivated during the 7th year. Then let the poor among you harvest whatever grows on its own. Leave the rest for the wild animals to eat. The same applies to your vineyards and olive groves. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but on the 7th day you must stop working. This gives your ox and your donkey a chance to rest. It allows your slaves and foreigners living among you to be refreshed. Pay close attention to all my instructions. You must not call on the name of any other gods. Do not even speak their names. 3 annual festivals, Exodus 23, 14 through 19. Each year you must celebrate 3 festivals in my honor. First, celebrate the festival of unleavened bread. For 7 days, the bread you eat must be made without yeast, just as I commanded you. Celebrate the festival annually at the appointed time in early spring, in the month of Abib, for that is the anniversary of your departure from Egypt. No one may appear before me without an offering. Second, celebrate the festival of harvest, when you bring me the first crops of your harvest. Finally, celebrate the festival of final harvest, at the end of the harvest season, when you have harvested all the crops from your field. At these 3 times each year, every man in Israel must appear before the sovereign, the Lord. You must not offer the blood of my sacrificial offerings together with any baked goods containing yeast, and do not leave the fat from the festival offerings until the next morning. As you harvest your crops, bring the very best of the first harvest to the house of the Lord your God. You must not cook a young goat's milk. You must not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. A promise of the Lord's presence. Exodus 23:20 through 33. See, I am sending an angel before you to protect you on your journey and lead you safely to the place I have prepared for you. Pay close attention to him and obey his instructions. Do not rebel against him, for he is my representative, and he will not forgive your rebellion. But if you are careful to obey him, following all of my instructions, then I will be an enemy to your enemies, and I will oppose those who oppose you. For my angel will go before you and bring you into the land of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites, so you may live there. And I will destroy them completely. You must not worship the gods of these nations or serve them in any way or imitate their evil practices. Instead, you must utterly destroy them and smash their sacred pillars. You must serve only the Lord your God. If you do, I will bless you with food and water, and I will protect you from illness. There will be no miscarriages or infertility in your land, and I will give you long, full lives. I will send my terror ahead of you and create panic among all of those whose lands you invade. I will make all of your enemies turn and run. I will send terror ahead of you and drive out the Hittites, Canaanites, and Hittites. But I will not drive them out in a single year, because the land would become desolate and the wild animals would multiply and threaten you. I will drive them out a little at a time until your population has increased enough to take possession of the land. And I will fix your boundaries from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, and from the eastern wilderness to the Euphrates River. I will hand over to you people now living in the land, and you will drive them out ahead of you. Make no treaties with them or their gods. They must not live in your land, or they will cause you to sin against me. If you serve their gods, you will be caught in a trap of idolatry. Israel accepts the Lord's covenant. Exodus 24:1 through 18. Then the Lord instructed Moses, Come up here to me, and bring along Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and 70 of Israel's elders. All you must worship from a distance. Only Moses is allowed to come near the Lord. The others must not come near, and none of the people are allowed to climb up the mountain with him. Then Moses went down to the people and repeated all the instructions and regulations the Lord had given him. All the people answered with one voice, We will do everything the Lord has commanded. Then Moses carefully wrote down all the Lord's instructions. Early the next morning, Moses got up and built an altar at the foot of the mountain. He also set up 12 pillars, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he sent some of the young Israelite men to present burnt offerings and sacrifice bulls as peace offerings to the Lord. Moses drained half the blood from these animals into basins. Then the other half he splattered against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it aloud to the people. Again, they all responded, We will do everything the Lord has commanded. We will obey. Then Moses took the blood from the basins and splattered it over the people, declaring, Look, this blood confirms the covenant the Lord has made with you in giving you these instructions. Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the 70 elders of Israel climbed up the mountain. There they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet there seemed to be a surface of brilliant blue lapis lazuli, as clear as the sky itself. And though these nobles of Israel gazed upon God, he did not destroy them. In fact, they ate a covenant meal, eating and drinking in his presence. Then the Lord said to Moses, Come up to me on the mountain. Stay there, and I will give you the tablets of stone on which I have inscribed the instructions and commands so that you can teach the people. So Moses and his assistant Joshua set out, and Moses climbed up the mountain of God. Moses told the elders, Stay there and wait for us until we come back. Aaron and Hur are here with you. If anyone has a dispute while I am gone, consult with them. Then Moses climbed up the mountain, and the cloud covered it. And the glory of the Lord settled down on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day the Lord called to Moses from inside the cloud. To the Israelites at the foot of the mountain, the glory of the Lord appeared at the summit like a consuming fire. Then Moses disappeared into the cloud as he climbed higher up the mountain. He remained on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. All right, let's do Trim Healthy Mama, 100 Days of Inspiration. We are on day 39. Nope. Did we? How did I miss a day? I must not have updated my thing because we're actually on day 40. Ironically, we just talked about 40 days and 40 nights on the mountain. Yes, and the people acted nuts. They couldn't even make it after everything the Lord had done for them, and they couldn't even make it 40 days before they went cuckoo pants. Started carving idols out of. We'll read more about that tomorrow. All right. Boundaries keep us safe. When we lived in New Zealand and then Australia, we lived by the ocean. I have always been amazed to watch the pounding waves break upon the shore and yet only come so far. God has divinely set their boundary. Even in a monster storm, the waves can go only so far. Jeremiah 5:22 says, "Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by perpetual decree, that it cannot pass. Though the waves therefore toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over." God gives boundaries in nature for our safety and blessing. Just as we need boundaries in nature to keep us safe and secure, so we need boundaries in our personal lives, families, and the nation. Our boundaries are God's principles and law, which He has given us for the safety of our lives. When we keep within His boundaries, we live in freedom and blessing. There are also times when we reap the consequences of moving beyond God's boundaries, where we no longer have His covering and blessing, and we have to return to the fold again. Some parents don't like to put boundaries upon their children. However, you cannot enjoy true freedom in a home that has no boundaries. Embrace the boundaries of your own life. Teach your children the blessing of living within boundaries. They provide peace, safety, and freedom. Nancy. Check your green barometer. Psalms 23:2 says, "He maketh me to lie down in green pastures." Spring has arrived in full glory, and the view from Serene's window reveals a beautiful panorama. God must love green. While the THM plan embraces all the food groups, which includes protein, fats, and carbs, let's not forget greens. They don't make a meal alone, just like the view outside the window is only enhanced by the blue sky and the brown earth. Green needs to be paired with protein, always. But it's too easy to leave green completely out of the picture. There are two extremes with green. The plant based diet theory says plants are the ultimate human fuel and not much else is needed. The other extreme replaces dietary greens with more dense food sources. But it's important to maintain nutritional balance, and so-called rabbit food can be the yummiest part of your meal when teamed up with the right partners. For our lunch today, we'll bed our plates with large amounts of leafy greens. Just rip or cut lots of your favorite lettuce and throw it onto your plate. At least a full head of romaine is fine. We top this beautiful green pasture with protein of choice. Serene has leftover chicken and salmon in the fridge. We'll be liberal with extra virgin olive oil and some balsamic vinegar, our favorite spices, and garnish with a little avocado and feta cheese, and enjoy a green lunch with us today. Serene and Pearl. Another year of opportunity. As I neared the age of 19, I was thrilled about it since it wasn't the same feeling as turning 18. Oh, I wasn't thrilled about it since it wasn't the same feeling as turning 18 when I became a legal adult. After casually sharing this feeling with my mom, she quickly corrected me. I should be excited about my birthday because it's another year that God is adding to my life. That humbled my way of thinking. I had to agree. Every year is an added gift from the Lord, a birthday gift. He has given me the greatest gift of all, and even more inspiration comes from my Nana, who says she would never take back any of her years, since with each year comes more wisdom. I am thankful for two women setting righteous examples for me, and I am thankful for another year added to my life. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. Spring is coming. It's a little ways off here in the old Maine, but it'll be here before we know it. All right. For breakfast this morning, I'm going to make a very simple breakfast. Why do I say that? I'm going to make sourdough toast, which we all know goes super smoothly, with eggs and some greens, because Serene just told me to eat greens with every meal. And now I want to. But I'm making that because I'm out of whole eggs. I'm out of cream. I'm out of, I I should have wrote it down. I'm out of sour cream. I'm out of cottage cheese. I'm out of, did I say eggs? I'm out of, I've been going over in my head all the things I need to order, and I've forgotten half of them. I am out. Faith. She's scared to death not toast. The last time I made toast, it took an hour. It will not take an hour this morning. I'm positive of it. I know, Cindy. I know. I need to make a grocery list because I keep thinking this morning, oh, I could make this. No, I can't because I'm out of lettuce. I'm out of lettuce. Tony ate the rest of my lettuce yesterday. How dare he? Yeah. I'm out of mushrooms. I need to grocery shop. But we're getting 8 inches of snow here today. It's already started. It's rain and snow today. So I cannot do a grocery order till at least tomorrow. So, okay, you guys, I love you all. Have a blessed day. I'll see you for breakfast in a few minutes. I got to get the dog out. Faith. He does eat lettuce. He eats salad a lot. He likes green salad, lettuce and cucumbers and dressing. He eats it all the time. It's like a snack for him. He loves it. He'll eat a great big bowl of it. It's the dressing. Let's face it. It's the dressing that he likes. Okay, guys, give me a few minutes to get the dog up, and I will be live for breakfast in just a few. I love you all. Have a blessed day.